This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett Williamson, Hannah Green, Noralia, Geof Searles, Erik Reed, Greysin Ishara, Ashlee Bradley, Laura Lewis, and Helena Jacobsen. We'd also like to thank a couple people who've renewed their annual pledge over at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast for a whole nother year. Thank you so much for your continued support too. Brett Ziegler, Alex L, Eva Thurman-Keup, Curt Eckstrom, Mike M, and Green Man. Thank you so much. We really, truly appreciate it. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 8 and 9 of Towers of Midnight.
Yeah, chapter 8 is The Seven Striped Lass, and chapter 9 is Blood in the Air.
Ugh.
Ooh, a little bit of action.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what happened in these chapters. I read them so long ago. I don't even know.
It's been an eventful week.
It'll be new. It'll be like experiencing it again as I read through the notes.
That's good. You'll be like,
I'll be like,
yeah.
oh yeah, that happened. Because honestly, I don't.
Which is funny because it's all Matt.
It's all Matt.
And you love Matt.
Oh.
Okay.
It's coming back to me.
So this is the Wheel
Matt
of Time.
in some inns.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
He is.
And a couple other things happen?
That's right.
Okay.
There's an attack.
Oh, right.
Oh, yes.
Oh, shit.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
We need to back up a little bit here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? It's good that I did this fun fact, though, because there's a tiny little detail that's pretty critical to the story, so I did an entire fun fact about it to make sure we highlight it, and you probably didn't take note of it.
Probably not.
So there's going to be a great fun fact
I
for
apparently
everybody.
didn't take note of it. The chapters. So.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, while Matt is at the second inn, The Dead Man's Breath, which is a great name, by the way.
Well, yeah, and why is the chapter The Seven Striped Lass when that's the first inn?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the way it is, I guess.
Yep.
Anyways, so there's a dude in the corner of this inn who's living his best life. He's got 14 empty mugs in front of him.
Oh, yes, I've noted that. Yep.
Yeah, and then Matt notices he makes it to 16 before he topples over.
Nice.
And he himself had bet the guy would make it to 17, so at least he won some money.
Yeah, I noted that. I actually do remember that.
Okay, so this inspired the very important question, how much is the most beer that anyone has ever drank?
That's documented. Let's be real. Like, have you ever been... Have we documented random, college parties?
I can guarantee that this person takes the cake.
Really?
And the beer.
Okay, tell me. Okay,
so the answer, in short, is Andre the Giant. The French professional wrestler and actor, also known for his best work in The Princess Bride. Yeah, okay. So that's the guy who could drink. He drank the most, and I've got some information to back it up here. So, interestingly, the Guinness Book of World Records, which is Guinness, the Irish beer company, who does the Book of World Records.
You got it.
They do not do alcohol consumption records. So in 1991, they dropped their eating and drinking records over concerns that competitors could harm themselves and expose themselves to legal litigation, basically. So they dropped those off. So there is no official record for the most drank.
In the Guinness book.
Okay.
By the Guinness Beer Company.
So this is what I'm going to say. Based on what I can find, Andre the Giant wins.
Okay.
So for context, Andre was 7'4" tall, and he weighed over 500 pounds. And he would typically consume 7,000 calories a day in just alcohol.
What?
Yeah, so he would drink 6 bottles of wine before wrestling, and there's a few stories about how much he could drink. Yeah, so there's lots of different stories, and they're all backed up by people.
Me and Andre.
Oh my goodness,
there's so much in common.
So on the Late Night with David Letterman, Andre confirmed that he had drank 117 beers in one sitting, and couldn't remember if he was drunk because he thinks he passed out, in quotations.
Okay.
Another story involves Andre drinking more than 125 beers in New Orleans, and that was confirmed by journalists. And then there's another night that was verified by a bunch of other wrestlers that said Andre once drank 156 beers in one sitting.
Whoa.
So there's
that
no
guy
official
wins.
record, but he wins.
He wins.
It's widely accepted that he's the record holder, and no one's ever going to come close to beating him. So.
And don't try.
Don't try.
This is don't do that.
Yeah.
Put it on the list.
Yeah.
don't.
I always think of like the
that.
beer can staffs, that people would make during, that you do. Where you attach them together.
Yeah.
And people get to like 10 or something and they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah.
Ugh, so bloated.
I know, right?
I can't even drink I can't finish one beer without the bottom of it getting warm. And I'm like, I actually don't want this. I don't actually like beer, turns out.
Well, you just got to practice. You got to set your mind to it.
No.
You just got to practice.
Don't do it.
Okay.
I'll have the 6 bottles of wine, though.
There you go.
That is a record I'll take on.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
All right.
Don't do
it. Let's get into Matt Cawthon and the adventures of.
Okay. So the chapter symbol is 5 dice. Because we're getting into Matt, which is exciting because we haven't really heard very much from this guy this book.
Been a minute, yeah. Like in the I think it was like chapter 36 or something last book. So it's been 20 some chapters. Like it's been a long time.
Been a while.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Matt is sitting at a bar and he's flipping around the letter that Varen gave him between his fingers. And he's wondering, what am I going to do about this?
Yeah, so I got to recap on the letter situation.
Okay.
So there's basically 2 options. He can either open the letter after 10 days and do what it says, or...
But he's bound by an oath to carry out and do whatever that letter says.
Or he can wait in Camelin for 30 days. That's what they negotiated. So his plan...
And if Varen doesn't come to find him, then he can leave or something like that?
Well, the whole 10-day thing was because Varen said, okay, if you're going to open it, don't open it right away.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to make it back. And we know what she got up to. There was that like hint of hope of maybe she can come back actually.
Yeah.
And, never mind, I'll take that letter back.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen though. So, okay, he wants to wait the 30 days in Camelin. And
yeah,
that's it.
He's feeling like he doesn't want to open the letter.
For sure.
You, in this situation, do you open the letter?
I mean, I can't not open the letter.
Really?
I feel like I would have to because I'm too curious.
No, you're so good at pretending things don't exist.
I might forget about the letter. That miite be a legitimate thing where I put it away somewhere and I forget that I have it.
It's a pretty big thing in your life, though.
I've forgotten big things in my
I know.
Like, let's not put that past me.
No, you're pretty good at just like putting things to the side and not worrying about it.
But not like a mystery.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? It could be anything in that letter.
Yeah.
It could even be a boat.
Yeah, I'm someone who like opens the mail before I even get home.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what's this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's bills.
My favorite thing is going through other people's mail.
Yeah.
Opening up their stuff, too.
Brett, you don't do that either. I think that's a crime.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, that's what is going to happen here at this first
At
inn.
the 7 striped lass.
Yeah, which is totally nice that I reference, right? Like 7 stripe,
Oh.
Like it's got to be. Like the Amerlin shawl, the 7 stripe lass.
Isn't there like a striped bass? Like a fish? A striped bass?
Probably. You're asking me. Why are you asking me that?
Is it like a play on like the type of fish, but like also ladies?
I like that too.
Do you like it?
I
don't
like that.
Like it's bad. It's a bad stretch, but
it could be. I don't know enough about fish or ladies.
Okay. Neither does Matt, turns out. We should ask Swan. She'd know.
Right. And she'd be like, it's both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
This has to be Swan Secret meetup place or something.
This should be.
Right?
Yeah.
It's got to be. Fish and 7 stripes.
Yeah. Okay,
we figured it out.
Sure.
Good job. All
right. So Matt is going by Master Crimson here, and it was Master Crimson in the library with the dagger.
It's good because he's got like a disguise too. Well, sort of. He doesn't have his hat on, and he grew out his stubble.
A little.
But it's a little bit.
It's itchy.
Yeah, it's like a little bit. It's like, Matt, that's not gonna... Your defining feature is not just your hat.
Although, isn't it though?
I mean,
Isn't it though?
Well, also like the scarf, which he still has on, but it's like tucked in.
And the jacket with lace on it, which he's not going to give up.
But just like a little bit of lace.
He loves it.
There's so much good stuff here. Yeah, so this disguise is not the best.
It's all coming back to me. I got it now. I got it. Yeah. We're here. Okay.
All right, so now let's talk about this pretty tavern keeper.
But did you like my Clue reference?
I did like that too. That was good.
Because, Mr. Green and
Mr.
Professor
Crimson,
Plum and Master Crimson, he fits right in.
He does. Yeah. Okay. Back to it. Matt is not hitting on the tavern keeper.
He is not hitting.
So,
he is noting her for other people.
For his friends.
For his friends.
Yeah.
You know who'd like this one? ToM.
Okay, I have one more thing to point out, but we're actually going to talk about more in this chapter. But there's also one more thing where he's smiling at all the ladies, and especially this tavern keeper.
Yeah.
And he knows that the bouncer at this tavern doesn't like him. And he's like, I think it's because he thinks I'm hitting on her. But I explained to him, I have a wife.
Yeah.
And it's like, that makes it worse when you're like, I have a wife, but you're still making eyes at everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of references, though, to how he thinks Tuon's beautiful. Mm-hmm. And now, he used to like a curvy chick, but now he's into slender women.
Sure.
Because that's what Tuon is.
Gotta be into your wife, right? That's
Be into your wife.
Life lessons.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So he's having a discussion with the tavern lady about this letter.
Yeah.
Like, and she's like, open it or don't open it. I don't care. Like, it's a whole back and forth thing.
Yeah, but then the banter turns into she snatches it away from him. She
snatches it, and he's like, don't do it. Don't do it. I have an oath. I have an oath. And even if you open it, I have to still do it.
Yeah, it's like a little back and forth, and it goes off. And then she's like, oh, I could read it and not tell you what it says. Yeah. And he's like, no, I'd still have to. And then she's like, well, I could give you hints as to what it says. Now, it's probably going to be bad either way. Like, don't.
I want him to.
You want him to open it?
Well, I'm just so curious.
Yeah.
It's a mystery.
Is he going to? Or is he sticking with the, like, not doing it?
Depends what the pattern wants.
That's a non-answer.
No, it's a real Wheel of Time answer.
But what does the pattern want?
I'm a seasoned veteran by this point.
You are, but you're supposed to say, what is tell us, what does the pattern want?
How am I supposed to know that? That's a big question just for little old me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure last time you were like, no way, he's not going to open it.
Really?
Or maybe you said he's
no,
definitely going to open it.
I'm pretty sure he would open it.
You're either very for it or very against.
I'm pretty sure he's definitely going to open it.
Okay.
Mostly because that's what I want to happen.
Okay.
And if it's different than what I said before, I've changed my mind.
Good.
And I'm allowed to do that. And if it's the same, then I stick to my guns. I wish I could remember things I've said in the past.
Cover all the bases here. Okay. Okay, so...
I think he's going to do it.
You think he's going to... Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It better not derail his Moraine plan, though, you know?
With the letter?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can see that really happening.
That would piss me off.
What if it's like, oh, go rescue Moraine? He's
well, then I'd be like, cool, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not that.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Any clue as to what might be in that letter that he has to follow instructions for?
Probably something along the lines of telling Elaine about the Black Aja.
Oh, you know, that's actually pretty sensible.
Yeah.
That's like a very sensible answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Varen would write something and say, don't open this for 10 days.
Yeah.
Because if I don't come back, then I'm dead and you can share this info.
Right.
And I want it out.
Oh, so probably that. That makes a lot of sense.
It's probably something to do with the Black Aja. It's something Black Aja related.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I get you. Yeah.
Something maybe along the lines of like, here are the Forsaken trying to kill you, you know? And he's like, ugh, I know already.
There's a golem after you.
Yeah. What? I had no idea.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So it'll be like, okay, you have to go tell Elaine about the Black Aja.
Sure.
And give her this list of Black Aja names.
If he could get a meeting with her. It's not going to happen.
Well, anyways. He probably could if he tried harder.
Okay, let's get to it.
He doesn't really want to see her.
Let's get to that. Well, okay. Okay, no, I'm going to come back to that statement.
Okay.
All right. So anyways, this scene basically ends with him telling the tavern keeper, oh, an Aes Sedai gave that to me, so you're going to anger them. And then she's like, really? I've always wanted to go to the White Tower. Next time this Aes Sedai comes here, you have to introduce me. And he's like, sure. Next time that Aes Sedai is here in Caemlyn and I'm here, I'll introduce you.
Yeah.
It's like, that's never going to happen.
It's not going to happen because she did.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know that.
No, but I do.
We do, and the letter was like I'm not going to see you again. Here's the instructions.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so finally Matt has the letter back, and we get a big old description of this whole tavern and the people here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then he leaves.
Yeah, we got to go to the next one. The important tavern.
Well, that's because he wants to go play real dice with real people with real money.
Right, not here.
Not the fake people with fake money.
Dumb coppers.
Yeah.
Instead of like good gold and silver.
Oh, yeah.
All right, okay.
You know, when you said that, I thought police.
Nice.
You know, those dumb coppers.
You're never going to catch me, see?
I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah, so not that, but we're going to go to the next tavern, and we're going to win some money.
The Dead Man's Breath, which sounds gross.
Yeah, it's a weird name.
You know what it reminds me of? You know, at the end of Hocus Pocus, when the zombie guy cuts open his mouth stitches?
I don't, because you've tried to make me watch that movie so many times on Halloween.
Every Halloween we watch it.
Yeah,
and
I never pay attention.
And then they're like, "Oh my God, your breath is so bad," but it's because he's been dead for like 100 years. And
that's what you think.
That's the dead man's breath.
Okay.
Because his mouth is sewn shut.
Yeah, no, I get the concept
and then they cut open his stitches so he could talk, because he's all like resurrected and stuff.
Sure, makes sense.
And it's like, that's bad breath.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a good joke.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, let's talk about the important stuff here, because there's rumors going on here. Because they're like dicing now.
Okay.
And there's rumors floating around.
Because he's found a game to play with people.
Yeah, it's Matt.
And one's a lady.
Yeah,
a lady dicer.
Ladies can play dice too.
No, Matt's like, I don't really like playing against ladies. He thinks it.
Okay, yeah. Let's get to the important rumor here.
Okay.
So some guy named Jowdry was found dead this morning with his throat ripped out and the body was drained of blood.
My gosh.
I know. And then Matt was like, "Did you see the body? Tell me more about this drained blood body."
And they're like,
dude, that's weird.
That's
like, you're asking weird questions. Yep. And then suddenly one of them looks down at the dice that Matt just rolled, and all the dice are on their edges. Or on the corner or whatever.
And then the dice are rattling in Matt's head. Rattling.
Mattily rattly. You know, that's what they say.
That's what they say.
Okay. All right.
And that's never a good thing. Classic Matt.
We have a really important ugly face line in this chapter. One of the bouncers, Berg.
Uh-huh.
His face is so ugly, it would even make his own mother wince.
Oh, burn.
Yeah. It's like Bean.
Yeah.
And like, come on, Mom, hold it together.
Yeah. You made him. What does that say about you?
I don't know. All right. But in all seriousness, the dice are rolling in Matt's head.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, and the dice are weird, and he asked a bunch of inappropriate questions about a dead guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to leave now.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to go.
Yeah, I thought it would be more interesting.
Yeah, not a lot happened there. This is just like the warning.
Okay, so he tosses some coins down and he leaves, and it's like a big thing before people can ask more questions, and then they sort of like notice him leaving and acting super weird.
Yeah, he's being disruptive now in his leaving.
Yeah.
But then also the bouncer is talking to the innkeeper, and then it looks like they're passing like a picture or a piece of paper. They're looking at it, and Matt thinks that...
Oh, for sure, that's got my face on it.
It got his face. But luckily he's disguised right now, so...
Oh, phew.
They don't know it's him.
Yeah. Anyway, he's going to duck out of the tavern. He's going to run down an alley. And he's like, oh no, the golem's in Camelin. I have to get to ToM and let him know.
Yeah. And we got to get back to the band, which is camping outside the city, because you can't just bring your entire army into Camelin. Makes sense.
Okay. And then this is where we find out that Matt has sent word to Elaine that he's here, but he hasn't heard a reply yet.
Yeah.
And he's thinking, oh, the only reason I actually need to talk to her is because of Eludra and the dragons.
Well, that's his entire purpose for coming to Camelin, was to get Elaine to finance Eludra and the dragons, because Eludra was like, we need like all these bell makers, bell founders, and all of the minerals in the world, basically, to make the dragons.
Right.
So that's why they're here. But you said earlier that you don't think that Matt actually wants to see Elaine.
Yeah, I don't think he actually wants to see Elaine.
Why do you think that?
I don't know, because he's Matt.
Okay, I mean, that's a pretty good argument.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yep.
Okay. Because it seems like he, I don't know, like wrote a letter or something. Or
yeah, I don't think he's trying that hard.
Gave word.
I know.
Like, we know that she knows he's here.
Yeah.
Because he's been given permission by Nori to, like, where to camp his people, the terms for coming into the city, like, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you just don't, you think he's just kind of, like, avoiding a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Okay. I don't know. That's just a good feeling.
Yeah, that's fair.
It could be completely, I don't know why I said that.
No, that's fine. You're allowed to say that.
I know.
And it is Matt. Like, you do the thing where, like, you put the bare minimum effort and you're like, why aren't they responding to me?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, I feel
that's
like I do that
kind of what
too
it
sometimes.
feels like. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to send this one email and never follow up.
Yeah. I'm like, well, I guess they don't want it that bad.
Ball's in your court.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But now he really does have to talk to her because the golem's in the city and he needs to warn her.
Right.
Okay. Now, I feel like we're getting a little bit back to a little more classic Matt, because now, I mean, yes, we got the funny jests about the women and he's not hitting on them, but he would like to, but he's not going to, and he's not going to. It's for someone else, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I feel like Matt in his own head is a little more well-rounded of a character.
Okay.
So far, like, I enjoyed reading about him this chapter. I feel like there was a little bit of a shift.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. So, we're going to head now to the inn where ToM is performing.
Right.
And it's called the Two Apples.
Better than Dead Man's Breath?
Yeah. Less gross.
Better than the Seven Stripe Lass.
2. I ate 2 whole apples.
Good Office reference.
Thank
there
you.
You go. Bobbing for apples. That's good. Okay. All right, so we get a whole lot of description. There's so much description of this inn and the song that ToM is playing.
And ToM, and he's so good at the flute.
And everyone's listening.
It's very nice, actually.
Yeah, like it is nice. There's just not a lot for us to talk about, except that the flute is a simple instrument, and a lot of these nobles like the harp because it's elevated.
Yeah.
The harp is for rich people.
However,
flutes for poor people.
However, ToM has the entire place silent listening to his song.
Yeah. And then he finishes the song, and then instead of looking around and looking at Matt, he just starts into the next song.
Yeah, so Matt's like, oh, gosh.
We gotta go.
So he starts sneaking up to the stage. He's gonna take his little tip hat.
He's gonna start scooping all the money.
But without even, stopping playing the flute,
yeah.
ToM whips a knife and catches Matt's coat of his arm.
Yeah.
The arm of his coat. What did I say?
The cuff?
The cuff?
The cuff
That's
of his
the
coat.
word.
That's the, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, he's good with a knife.
And a flute.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, this scene, the song finishes
it's all
finally.
good. It's good. We're not doing it justice, I think, because I actually really enjoyed reading this scene.
Yeah.
And normally the detail stuff, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
But this one was really nice. And we're like, oh, yeah, ToM's really good at what he does.
Sure. I'm just trying to think of the mechanics, because a flute is like a two-handed thing, right?
It sure is.
And then which hand did he take off the flute, do you think?
The right hand.
The further one down? That's the further one,
Yeah, the further one. And he probably had one right in his sleeve, and he went, whip.
Yeah, I like that.
Because he's so fast.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
It's almost like he didn't even take his hand off the flute.
Barely. Probably. Yeah, probably no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad we figured that out.
So good. But then Matt's like, my coat.
My coat. You put a hole in my coat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a whole banter thing, too. Like, after ToM actually finishes.
You sound like a lord. Yeah.
Yeah, because then they're, backing up or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, because ToM's like, yeah, you sound like a lord. Like, you always say you're not a lord, but Matt is complaining that the stitching that's going to have to be done in his cuff isn't going to match.
It's going to be noticeable.
It's going to be noticeable. It's good. It's a good joke.
Yeah,
good
and
banter.
ToM's like, ever hear of a farmer complaining that he has stitches in his coat?
Yeah.
No.
Big
anyway, here. Matt's like, okay, listen, though, there's a golem in the city, and that's actually important right now.
Yeah, and ToM's like, yeah, I know. I already heard that.
Yeah.
It's so good. Good. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Okay, time lapse. We get ToM and Matt walking back to the band's camp outside of Camelin, and they spend most of their time talking about the golem. They also talk about how they're going to be leaving for the Tower of Genji soon. Hooray, hooray, hooray.
Yeah, after the time limit is done, that's the next mission.
Yeah, because we can't just leave Moraine to the snakes and foxes. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. Hooray.
Yeah. Little side note here, which is just interesting as a world building component. So Matt and ToM walked into the city and they're walking back. They didn't ride their horses because Elaine is basically scooping up all the good horses for her army. Plus, horses can be food. So he doesn't want to leave his horses in a stable he doesn't trust because someone might
kill it
and eat it, or Elaine's going to buy it. So, yeah, which makes sense. That's why they're walking.
Okay, fair. Now, Matt asks if ToM thinks the description that they have of the Tower of Genji is going to be enough for someone to gateway them there. And they're like, well, it's going to have to be.
Yeah, hopefully. Otherwise, they're going to have to spend weeks traveling.
Ooh.
So we're going to cross fingers here because we don't really have any other fast travel method here right now, especially for these guys to the exact place where they want to go.
Well, yeah, I feel like traveling is good. I feel like we could probably just skim. How come that's never an option?
I mean, you can. It's just... How many people... I don't even know if most people know about skimming, honestly.
Well, they should. It's dumb that they don't.
We know it's the same, basically, but it's not the same. We know. But, a lot of that came from, Rand and Egwene and Avienda. So there's not a lot of knowledge dropping about skimming specifically.
Maybe.
That we see anyways.
Okay.
All right. Plus, it's less convenient.
I mean, yeah, but it's not weeks. It's half an hour instead of instant.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that too.
At least we think.
Yeah.
We're not quite sure, but...
Yeah.
I don't know, just take the Waze. Remember when that was so convenient? For just a certain number of books and then it never was again?
Well, they didn't know traveling yet. So what do you want from them? Come on.
Well, like, I mean, all I'm saying is it's not the only option.
For these non-Chandler boys.
Go find a entrance to the ways.
I guess so. Seems like a bad plan.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. All right.
It was a bad plan back then, too.
All right.
But they did it anyway.
That's true. So ToM suggests that they start sending guards with Matt when he goes in the city here because we have to protect him even if it's from just thugs. Apparently Matt got jumped a couple of days ago. But Matt's like, oh, those were just honest, regular thieves, not like the Dark Friend thieves, things like that.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing, I guess.
Dark Friends try to kill me.
Exactly. Yeah. These are just regular guys just trying to earn a living here by robbing people. But then Matt also thinks again, like this whole back and forth too on this trip, this walking back, about Elaine not being in contact with them. ToM's like, hey, it makes sense. She's busy with the succession, yada, yada, yada. And then Matt's like, well, she knows I'm here because she sent Nori to deal with us and give us like instructions on everything. But yeah, there's not a lot we can do. There's not a lot we can do until we get some sort of word from Elaine about moving forward with this whole thing. We need her permission to do all this stuff and financing.
Yeah. Okay. So once they get back to the camp, we learn that some of the Aes Sedai have come back to the camp today.
All three of them, in fact.
Because they were out?
Yeah, well, they've been staying in Camelin.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So we got Jolene, Edicina, Teslin. Yeah.
Got it.
And Matt was hoping they'd stay there for like a few more days. He doesn't really want to deal with them.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, but they're all back.
And he's flagged down by Teslin, who do be needing to speak with him.
Yes, she do be.
She's Vermilion. You see, she's Vermilion.
It's so pirate talk for wanting to meet.
It do be like that.
Yeah.
So Teslin asks him if he's heard the news of the White Tower, and Matt's like, okay, listen, here's like literally everything I've heard.
It's so funny. I wrote them down because like some of these rumors he makes up are pretty funny. Because first off, he's like, well, I've heard that the White Tower has been reunified, and I'm guessing that's what you're talking about. But I've also heard the opposite, and I've heard that the Amyrlin fought the last battle in Rand's place, and I've heard that the Aes Sedai have decided to raise an army of soldiers by giving birth to them, and I'm pretty sure that one has a lot of credit and merit to it. And it's like, that's a funny one.
Yeah.
But then he also has heard the rumors about the flying monsters attacking the White Tower, and he's like, oh, those are probably Raken.
Yeah.
And the rumors might just be spreading about them. But we do know that battle took place.
That actually happened.
Yeah. But I do like that little, rumor drop, so.
That's funny. But anyway, Teslin has decided that she is going to return to the tower, and they have a plan to leave in the morning.
Yeah, all three of them are returning.
Yeah, and she wanted to find him tonight so that she could thank him.
Yeah, it's like, I like Teslin.
Yeah.
I like her, even though she's red.
Even though she's ugly. She's not the pretty one.
Right.
She's the ugly one.
Right, she's the red.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jolene's the pretty one, right?
Jolene's the pretty one. Yeah. And like, go away, Jolene, because I was worried she was going to bond Matt against his will. So,
well, I mean, there's still time. It's not morning yet, right?
There is still time. Okay. So Matt is shocked.
Well, yeah, because it's a thank you. That doesn't happen from Aes Sedai.
Yep. And Teslin says that even though the trip has been pretty much terrible and awful, she's thanking him because without him, she'd still be in the Shanshan hands.
Yeah. I mean, she even takes it a step further, too, because then she says, hey, if you ever do end up at the White Tower, remember there's women there who, like...
are in your debt.
Yeah, and we got you in, like, we're in your corner, and I'm going to remember what you did for me.
Right.
So it's like a really thoughtful thank you. And just, like, saying that, putting it out there, like, thank you for, freeing me from the slavers. Yeah, that is good. Like, that's a good thing she's done here.
Is it slightly manipulative? Because Matt immediately says, you can have horses in the morning to take, even though I told you weren't going to get any.
Well, he told Jolene to shove it up her butt.
Yeah, I know.
That was the...
I know. Is it a tactic? Or is it sincere?
I think she's being sincere.
This is from Matt's point of view.
I know it is.
And Matt's an unreliable narrator.
I know that. I think that Teslin is being sincere.
Well, Matt certainly thinks that.
Yeah.
I am not 100% sure if this is so sincere.
Well, okay, so the reason why I'm going to say so we know that Jolene was never captured by the Shanshan because she had the warders, so she was fine. Teslin and Edicina were Damani. And Teslin even says the little line where she says, I'd like to think that I could hold out against them, but I know that that's not true, basically.
Yeah.
So I think she is sincerely appreciative that she was rescued in her time of need.
Okay.
And she's voicing that.
Which is nice.
It is nice.
Yeah.
I just want to give full credit to Tesla in here.
Okay.
I feel like we don't have enough like good Reds, you know?
Or Aes Sedai in general.
Or Aes Sedai. Like, I just want this to be a win for the Reds and for the Aes Sedai.
I don't know why we need any wins for them.
That's the mood I'm in right now, okay?
All right. I guess I'm a little more skeptical.
Yeah, that's fair.
I also just bought a shirt online that said unreliable narrator.
Nice.
Because I think my phone listens to me.
Well, it for sure does. It for sure does.
Targeted ads, they work, turns out. Yeah. Oh, no. I'm a sucker.
If anything, I want targeted ads to get more targeted. Like, I want actual things that I actually need.
And want.
Yeah.
It's easy.
It's like the toilet seat one was like, we bought the new toilet. It's like, do you want more toilets? Do you want extra? It's like, no. That's a one-off purchase.
That's a one thing I needed. Thanks, though.
I already have it. I don't need more examples of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're back to it. So Tessin says thank you.
Yeah.
Matt's like, you can have horses. So he opens up his tent and steps inside.
But he freezes because he can smell the scent of blood.
Whoa.
And he's not even Perrin, so this must really smell like blood in here.
Well, yeah. And we find out why later.
Is it because blood's everywhere?
There's 3 dead guys in here.
And lots of blood.
Lots of blood.
Yeah.
He didn't have time to drink all of it.
Oh, good.
So.
Very vampire-y, hey?
Yeah, the Golem.
Have we talked about that before?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
With the Golem?
And the Drakkar.
And the Drakkar. The Drakkar specifically.
Yeah, a little mix and match.
Yeah. Anyway. Ooh, smells like blood in here.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the chapter.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
But then you let me read the next one.
I did. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get to find out. But first, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, so we are back with Chapter 9, which is called Blood in the Air, which makes sense, because it smells like blood in the air.
But let me tell you something. It's not just in the air. It's on the ground, and the bed, and the tent.
Oh my gosh.
And the clothes.
Gross.
Yeah.
Mop it up.
That's good.
So bad.
Yeah.
Okay. The chapter symbol is the wheel and snake.
Yeah.
And we're still with Matt.
Yeah. Immediately.
In the same moment.
Immediately.
So Matt ducks in, and that saves his head because something swings through the air above him.
Oh.
And Matt starts shouting, "Murder! Murder in the camp! Bloody murder!"
Yeah. Okay. You gotta rouse the troops.
Literally bloody murder.
It is. Yeah, it is.
It's a bloody murder.
You know, maybe that's where the
screaming bloody murder.
That's where the saying comes from, probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Did we just stumble on something?
Yeah, kind of. Huh.
Yeah, murdering people probably gets blood everywhere.
Yeah.
You gotta rouse the troops when there's murder in the camp.
Yeah, and it's not Master Crimson.
No.
In the tent.
That's good, too. Yeah. Okay,
Matt leaps to the side, and he grabs his spear thing.
Ashendari.
That thing.
Yeah.
And he swipes at the tent fabric to open it, and then he lets in some light, and then finally he can see the golem is inside here with him.
Yeah, so he jumps out of the tent. So it's like dark in the tent. Yeah. That's important. So he leaps out of the tent, so he's no longer in the tent.
Through, like, the hole.
Yeah.
Like, all squiggly, like. Doesn't he, like, go all, like...
Well, he cuts a hole, see? In the fabric.
Yeah, but he can...
It's not like a camping tent.
But it's a small... No, I know.
Yeah, okay. It's like a big tent.
Yeah.
It's like canvas. He cuts through it and he jumps through.
But I thought there was a description of the hole being small and he, like, slides through it because he's golem. The golem can, like, go through small holes and stuff.
Yeah, the golem can.
Yeah. Oh, Matt jumps out of the tent.
Matt jumps out of the tent.
Oh.
So he's at this entire...
But the golem also is out of the tent now?
For a moment, like, in a moment, the golem will also come out into the outside.
Through a small hole.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, at a time...
Or is he talking about last time he came out through a small hole?
Yeah, so Matt was thinking about the golem being places and how it can squeeze through small places. Not really relevant to the whole there's a hole in the tent thing now.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to see.
We're both just going to go.
I'm just trying to
understand. It's like a second door.
I'm just trying to understand what's going on.
For sure. They're out of the tent.
Okay.
And in the time that it takes him to get out and then the golem to come out, Matt is able to wrap the foxhead medallion around the blade of his Ashendari so that he can swing it around.
Sure, he can. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been practicing it. That's the only thing that makes me go, sure, he did this.
Yeah. You know, just like real quickly.
Yeah, right. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll suspend belief for a moment.
You gotta do it sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, so his fox head medallion is wrapped around his spear so he can use that.
He's just swinging it around, basically. Yeah. You just gotta club the golem with the fox head medallion, and it immediately burns it.
Yeah.
So that's the goal here.
Yeah.
So then we get some creepy intimidation tactics from the golem.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, you should be proud. The one who controls me now wants you more than anybody else.
Okay, and what does that mean? The one who controls me now. Does that mean someone different controls him? Does that mean Samael really is dead? Because wasn't it Samael last time?
Yeah, so here's a couple issues. Now someone different
controls the golem?
The issue is that it seems like ownership of the golem can change, because whoever gives the golem orders, like, he's going to listen to Forsaken, probably. We don't really know how that hierarchy works.
But it was Samael, right?
Yeah, from what we knew, he was the one who, like, found the golem, probably,
and
in that stasis box.
And the one who was, like, watching from afar?
Yeah.
Up in a tower somewhere or something?
No, I think...
In, like, Ebudar?
No, I can't remember.
Who was that?
Morden, maybe?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I thought it was Samael.
I don't think so. I don't think that was Samael at that time. I'll double check later on, but I'm pretty sure that I think Samael was already gone.
Now.
I think Samael was already gone at that point.
Double check.
I'm pretty sure Samael was already gone.
Double check. Go. Okay, did some digging.
Yeah, we're pretty sure.
Yeah, I grabbed Path of Daggers off the shelf. Daggers.
Yeah, doggers.
Doggers off the shelf. And the golem was in Ebudar with Moradin, and that's after Samael's presumably dead.
Right. Crown of Swords. Yeah, at the end, that's when Samael... Presumably.
Yeah, but in it's like chapter 2 or 3 of Path of Daggers, the golem is like, oh, the one who commands me wants the one who hurt me dead also.
Mm-hmm.
Almost as much as he wants the women dead.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and then recently we just had the Forsaken meeting where the new orders were like, kill Matt and Perrin.
Right.
So that makes sense. It tracks.
Well, and Grandel is the one who's going after Perrin, right?
Well,
or apparently.
Yeah, Grandel was like, ooh, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Terrible.
So bad.
All right.
So, anyway, so the golem's like, you should be proud. I want you. I want to taste your blood.
Mm-hmm.
And then Matt attacks.
Right. A foolish thing to do.
He screams and he swings his spear forward, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah, I like your motions there. That was good.
Yeah,
except it's a spear. It should be more like that.
Well, that's what I was doing.
You were doing like 2 independent swings, which doesn't really work with like a, Ashendari.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. I understand what you're saying. I thought they were moving. I thought my hands were moving together, and they weren't.
Okay. Acting's hard,
oh gosh, yeah.
Especially sitting in a chair.
Mime work, It's not for the faint.
Oh man. All right. So, anyways, Matt's able to clip it and push it back a little bit here. So, he's getting a little bit lucky, but it's Matt.
Well, and he's good at fighting. And the golem is a little hesitant because of the medallion.
Yeah, but the golem is like super quick here, so it's a bad situation. And then he does some more intimidation tactics. So he says, I've been told to kill them all to bring you out. The man with the mustache. So that would be ToM.
ToM has a mustache.
ToM has the mustache,
yes,
right?
Okay.
The aged one who interfered last time.
ToM?
No. He's the one, remember, in the alley? That was like how he got introduced.
Oh, yes, he interfered last. Yep, okay, no, I got it now.
That's how we met him.
Got it. Now we're on the same
I hope you can get this next one. The little dark-skinned woman who holds your affection.
Ooh.
Shoot. That
Elaine?
tavern keeper.
No.
It's 2 on.
It's 2 on.
It's 2 on, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to get them all.
Yeah, unless I take you now. So then the golem leaps at him, and there's a knife, and suddenly the knife gets ripped away. Because Teslin is here.
Yeah.
She's helping.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And then Matt's like, your powers won't touch him. And she's like, yeah, but I could use my powers to throw a bunch of shit at him.
Yeah, she's just like pulling everything from his tent, like chairs
and crap at him. Yeah.
And it's kind of working. It's like it's slowing him down.
It's a distraction at least.
So that's good. And Matt even thinks like, oh, that's pretty clever.
Oh, actually, yeah, hey.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now the soldiers are running to help, and Matt can see 2 of the Red Arms who
so this is really sad.
The golem attack originally.
Super sad.
In Ebudar.
Yeah.
Are the ones who are dead now.
Yeah. Well, because they run up and then they get their throats ripped out because that's what the golem does, and then he runs off. So it's like those guys were with us for so long. Like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Matt's gonna chase after it, but then he can't.
Well, no, because he's like, oh yeah, Oliver sleeps in my tent usually.
And I was like, oh shit, did we just kill off Oliver?
Yeah.
Nope.
We did not. Close. But it's also very sad who we did lose here.
It's Lopin.
Lopin.
It's the one who's going to be stitching his jackets.
So it's sad because Lopin was Nalisian's manservant, and he was just starting to like
get over
and move past. Nalisian being killed by the Golem. Golem freaking kills Lopin and 2 other guys. But like, man, this is rough.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's a little sad.
It's definitely sad, but I'm glad it's not Oliver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Because Oliver happens to be playing Snakes and Foxes with Noel.
Well, he was, and then he fell asleep, and then Noel like didn't return him to the tent because he's staying up so late all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then Matt's like, "Hey, you saved his life, you bloody wonderful man. It's very nice, sorry, Noel. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Okay. Ugh. What?
I don't know.
What?
We'll see.
What do you mean we'll see?
Jane Farstrider.
What does that have to do with Oliver?
No, that's nothing. Except for that's who he's hanging out with.
Okay, who? Okay, do you even know who Jane Farstrider is supposed to be, though?
Jane Charon.
Yeah.
Originally. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good, actually, that you know his... But, like, he's...
And that's Noel Charon's cousin. But I think he assumed a different identity.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows the Travels of Jane Farstrider as the most famous book in the world, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's this guy now.
But like, if you're gonna do a fake,
because doesn't he have some memory problems?
Yeah, that's true.
So it was him.
But like, hypothetically, if you're gonna try to hide yourself or disguise yourself, why would you be like, oh yeah, I'm the cousin of that guy?
Maybe
and
he's
use the
not
same
trying.
Name.
Maybe. Because apparently he can't remember himself, right? So maybe he had...
Like you're touching your head, like the green man.
Oh, I can't remember.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about, except that guy is so sus.
This is tricky.
He is not who he is. There is something going on.
Something.
Oh my gosh, there is something there.
Okay.
There is never not something there with Noel.
Okay.
Since day one.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Ugh.
Okay.
Don't know.
Okay, we get a time shift. Let's move forward here.
Mm-hmm. It's an hour later.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt is sitting with ToM and Noel inside of ToM's tent because we can't go to Matt's tent.
It's covered in blood.
Yeah. And Matt is like, listen, the golem threatened you and Tuon, but didn't mention Oliver. And we also found another body outside of the camp.
Yeah, there's like a little side story. So like there's a soldier named Derry that they'd assumed just deserted the army because he went missing a few days back. But now Matt is thinking like maybe the golem interrogated him to find out about Matt and his, like Tuon. The whole question is like, how does the golem know about Tuon?
Who watches them and stuff?
Well, and I mean, like, any Forsaken giving information at
knows
all.
it, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a secret. It's like, they got married.
And, like, how many dark friends do we actually have in this camp? Probably so many.
At least 3,
probably.
At least 3.
At the very least.
Based on statistics.
Statistically speaking.
Which I am good at least 3.
So good at stats.
Okay. So anyways, Matt's like, oh, maybe the golem, like, captured this guy, interrogated him to find out the information on Matt. But Tom's not so sure that the golem is capable of, like, interrogating a person, which is fair. Like, is the golem the kind of creature who's going to capture and interrogate? Like, what are your interrogation tactics here?
Nah. Nope.
Mostly just like
No, he got the intel from someone else and he's just eating.
That's kind of seems what he is more.
Yeah.
Right?
I would say yeah.
Okay.
Except that whole thing where he threatens Matt.
Yeah.
Is a little bit.
But the threatening is more like I'm telling you who I'm ordered to kill.
Yeah.
These are my orders and they should scare you. Because Matt also thinks, oh, the golem knew where Tylen's room was, where I was going to be. Which makes sense, but also, like, that's not... Maybe the golem can listen.
Oh, we didn't talk about how when they were fighting, Matt was like, you didn't have to kill her.
Right.
And he's like,
he did say that.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the golem could... Like, again, that wasn't a secret relationship, if you want to call it that.
No, it was...
Everybody knew about it. So if the golem is able to, maybe not interrogate people, but, like, listen at all to anything for information...
And it can slip all around.
Yeah.
Because it's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird creature.
It's like an octopus or something that doesn't got any bones.
Oh, yeah.
It's got no bones.
Yeah.
Right?
And octopi?
Either is acceptable.
Okay. Smart.
Yeah.
I've watched some videos of them going through like mazes and stuff.
Yeah.
They're great. They're so smart. They figure stuff out.
For sure.
All the time. Little pet octopuses.
Okay.
Octopi.
Yeah.
Okay, what is happening? What are we talking about?
The golem. Matt has a plan. We're going to hunt it. And we're going to kill the bloody thing.
Oh my gosh.
Because
I forgot about that.
They can't have it chasing them all the way to the Tower of Genji. And ToM and Noel are like, okay, so like, what's the plan here? And Matt says, I don't know, but...
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, like, we just got to be clever. Got to come up with a plan. Okay. It's not complete, but we got to start...
We got to go sleep in the city.
Yeah. Away from the camp so that the band isn't in danger, etc., etc.
Yeah.
ToM and Noel are also going to have to sleep in the city because they were on the hit list, basically.
Yes, yeah.
And also Oliver's probably going to have to sleep in the city, too, with one of them.
Because it's unlikely he'll...
Yeah, go with the Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Like, they talk about sending him away, but, like, Oliver's not going to go away.
No. All right, so this conversation is interrupted by Jolene and her warders pushing their way through the Red Arms to get to him.
Yeah.
And then Jolene tells him that it appears the reports of the creature chasing him is accurate. And he's like, yeah, I know.
It's like a bunch of dead people in my tent right now.
Yeah.
And you still sound skeptical about it.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm returning to the White Tower tomorrow. Will you give me some horses? And he's like, yes. I already told Tesla I would.
Yeah. And I guess she asked nicer than the last time where she tried to just like, you know.
Yeah.
She does sort of ask, but I mean, man, Jolene is working so hard to make me just not like her at all.
Yeah, but did you hear that she's pretty?
Right.
You forgot about that, so
considered that.
You forgot,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, I guess
because it's mentioned.
It just makes her better.
It's mentioned several times.
Don't we know that beautiful people are better?
Yeah.
Than people who are
and
not?
They're allowed to be bitches. Just like it's just the way it is.
Exactly. You get it.
I get it.
Matt gets it. Jolene gets it.
I understand fantasy writing. I get it. It's lovely. We all love it. It's my favorite part of this whole thing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. All right. Before we go, Jolene also has some advice.
Oh, good. Great.
It's like icing on the cake here, Jolene.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, you want some advice?
Right, because it's like, oh, Matt, maybe you should stop swearing so much.
Yeah, like watch your language, control your language.
Yeah. And he's
then
like,
Matt does the opposite here.
He's like, well, considering the company I keep, it's bloody amazing. I don't swear more.
Off with you, Jolene.
I need to write a letter to Her Royal Bloody Majesty Queen Helena the Prim.
Yeah, it's good. I love the back and forth because Jolene says, are you going to swear at her too?
And he's like, of course. How else is she going to know it's really me?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so is that how, I mean, big question. Is that how
like, that's
start
funny. I don't know. It's funny.
That is funny.
It's good. It's cheeky, funny Matt.
Yeah.
You know?
Is he going to start the letter? In what frame of mind is he writing this letter?
Yeah. Well.
Okay. Are we getting an Elaine meeting with Matt? Is it happening?
I mean.
Is she going to keep avoiding him?
Potentially, if she doesn't want him to know she's pregnant. Do you think she's showing yet? I don't even know where we are in the timeline.
I don't understand. I don't know.
Huh. Maybe that's why she's putting him off.
What does the pattern want?
Exactly.
Right? Should she be showing with twins? I don't know.
Frick if I know.
Yeah. I'm gonna say yes.
I don't know.
Say yes.
I don't know. She's pretty tall, pretty slender. I don't know.
Who's to say? There's a lot of ghost milk in that diet.
Right.
Okay.
She could be, yeah.
Things to consider. Might be malnourished. I don't know. What? There's got to be a disease you can get from unpasteurized goat milk.
1,000%. Yeah, don't drink that.
Yeah, right. That was I think I did a fun fact on that. Like, don't do that.
Don't do it.
Anyways. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that's it. That's where we're going to leave because the Aes Sedai are finally leaving Matt.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's happy about that because he's like, it's worth the price of giving you the horses.
Yeah, goodbye.
To get you out of here.
Get out.
See you later.
See ya.
See you never. Yeah, and now we're just in Camelin waiting for meetings. And we got to wait. We got to wait the entire 30 days before we can leave for the Tower of Genji. Unless we open the letter and do what it says.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Which he might do it because it might be like, oh, we got to go.
Could be.
Right? And he's like, oh, I can't go unless I open this letter.
Could be. Could be that too. Who's to say?
Yeah, he's got some decisions to make. Big decisions.
Okay.
Now everybody's been asking about our September schedule, Brett.
Right. I know. I'll do it tomorrow.
You will?
Yeah, I will. Or tonight.
Okay.
We'll see. Probably tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, it'll be up.
People want it.
It'll be up by September 3rd.
Can I have 2 chapters?
You can have 2 chapters for the next 4 episodes.
Wow.
Wow, look at that.
There we go. That's the schedule.
There you go. Did it.
Did it. Easy.
And then we're doing solo chapters for a while because they're longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? As long as they're good.
Yeah.
And I decide if they're good.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I don't know. Yes.
What makes them good?
Maybe.
Right. Okay. Well, this was fun.
Okay.
We got back into it. Getting back into our routine and our groove. Back to work for me. Whole thing.
There's a whole bunch of stuff happening.
Lots of stuff. We'll talk about it later.
Okay. All right.
Let's go for tonight.
Okay.
So before you go ahead and fight a golem in your tent, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
He didn't fight the golem in his tent. He fought the golem outside of his tent. Before
you fight a golem in your army camp. It's part of the pattern now.
It's part of the pattern.
Oh, God. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited and produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Fouts, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Lance Barden, Adam, Mozyme, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, Gabby Young, Rycat, Zane Sayaka, Matrix, The Albatross, and Matt Truss, with music by Audionautic. Be sure to check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon-exclusive merchandise as a thank you. Plus, you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else, and at the time of recording, we have over 40 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping people find us. And tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.